Alexander is fallen. The son of Lucian is dead.
She's a tough one, Maester Seaver. She's a seeker, and she's a bloody traitor. Have you heard that they killed our beloved Alexander?
Here's $10.
You insult me. I wouldn't do it for an entire bag of gold coins.
I'm gonna give her 300.
All right then, done. But be quick about it.
Welcome to Driftwood, Godwoken.
Oh, we still haven't talked to the Meister yet. I can do that. If you would like to join me. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it without you then.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
They're so expensive.
What are?
Hello there, Jack.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important
Don't walk on my
matters to
computer.
attend to.
Do it, cat. Do it.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything
It's a
you
present
mentioned
for us
is
if we do something.
Cool. Why did they string you up?
Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
The Meister wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Stop.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
Actually, we were the ones who killed Alexander, so,
Meister Seaver freezes, her eyes locked on you, her claws mid-swipe, cutting a new stretch of bandage.
Why on earth should I have thought anything else? Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation.
So now what?
Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen Godwoken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, Godwoken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall.
Not that one, though.
I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. Push the button. Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with wonder and pride.
Thanks, lady.
Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
The Meister's gonna show me how to become Godwoken.
What happened? What?
Oh, I'm in her basement. Let's see what she got down here. Oh, we've seen something like this.
Ancient runes, weird contraptions. This place is an Arcanist's dream.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken?
We, make the world a better place.
And you in your infinite wisdom would know what is better. You would judge your enemies without prejudice and make decisions that could hurt your own for the greater good? No. Becoming the divine means taking on the power of all the gods and the responsibility for all the races. The Divine was created by the gods to shelter us from the void. The Divine cannot use his power for anything else. When you become the Divine, there is no more self.
For just a moment, her eyes soften as she looks at you.
It is no small thing to ask, but it is your duty. Without a new Divine, Rivellon will die.
Okay.
Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch Divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard. Sauce in the glowing fountain. Ritual in the tome by the bookcase. Even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
You look hurt.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a void
Oh,
would be
oh.
even more inconvenient. So if you wouldn't mind...
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
Tiny dagger.
Have you done this before?
Once, although not by a god woken. My assistant did not believe that one had to be chosen by a god to become divine.
She waves a bandaged hand absent-mindedly.
Very
wincing
shiny dagger.
slightly.
A headstrong and thoughtless girl, but the experience was... was quite educational. From observing her, I gather that the ritual involves inhaling the smoke, a lot of screaming, and a rather sudden death.
And you let her do that?
Well, certainly. It is not my place to police the stupidity of others. I have to admit I was curious. Imagine if it had been a success. Why, then anyone could have ascended, even I... Alas, success was beyond her reach. Quite fascinating to watch, though. I've never seen a body burn from the inside out before.
Well, we've literally been chosen by the gods, so I think we're good.
And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Ritual bowl, blackroot, and the bloody lancet. Ritual bowl. All it needs,
Did it.
all it needs is fire.
We're over here.
That makes sense. Let me just drop that on the ground here, and then we have to inhale the fumes. So, get ready to stand nearby. We all together right here?
As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading.
Don't breathe out.
As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
Well, we didn't die, so that's good.
Well, Sabine just fell asleep.
The last person who did it died. But they weren't godwoken, so... Well, hello. It's hopscotch. A glowing hopscotch.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak.
I don't
Its very
understand.
voice but a feeble echo of your own.
Come. Come closer, so that you may see me, as I truly am.
Okay.
Look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become
Confused.
glorious
What's
bursts
happening?
of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell, and see.
Ooh, I learned spirit vision.
Please, speak the spell.
Okay. Spirit vision away!
God is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Duna in all his spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. And now I've come to seek some power in return. Your God-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Duna nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah yes, just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god.
You gonna die?
The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion.
Can we stop it?
To save us both, as a matter of fact, you must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension.
Isn't that where all the gods came from?
It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads. And you must be the first to reach it at all costs.
Does it need to be me? Can't anyone do it? Like, we've got a couple Godwoken with us.
There you touch upon the very heart of the matter. The void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only he who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator.
So we're gonna drain the power from all the other gods?
Whatever for. The other gods will either bow to you or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own Godwoken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One, at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin and your loved ones, and the world they live in.
What about all the other races, though?
They will be at your mercy, which is vastly preferable to you being at theirs. Wouldn't you agree? So, fret not, but revel in the promise of the lake. I will lead you there when you're ready, when you've become a true master of the Source, and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a Godwoken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
Could you teach me?
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You flatter me, my chosen. But if all I had to do was give, you would long since have received. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here.
So, what was that thing you did with my eyeballs?
Something that will make you understand that for a god there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is source, and in source it is. Immortally so. You have the vision of a god now, eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger.
Yeah, like, we'll stop the void, but we'll do it on my terms.
My pawn? No, my champion. Best of luck, my champion.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She stares intently for a moment, taking in every detail before sighing deeply.
You didn't have enough source, did you? You had all the materials, but not the source. That is unfortunate. I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of source. And I could have helped you once, but no longer. The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient. They stripped me of my source. Not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to lime. Enough to sever my link to the font from which all source flows, and certainly enough that I cannot train you. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turn into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to.
Well, if that's what we need to do.
Just so. Some of these are quite dark, twisted individuals. The kind of creatures that grew bored pulling their legs from spiders and so moved on to people. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them.
You gonna be okay?
And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least some of this rings a bell. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters. On finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters.
So where are they?
The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource. But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time. And I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
Well, thanks for giving us this horrible mission to do. Oh, my frame rate.